Thanks, Nima. Here's your Alberta Daily Update. Alberta's opposition NDP is calling on Premier Danielle Smith to apologize to comments on the Russia-Ukraine war that she made earlier this year and surfaced last weekend. Opposition critic Sarah Hoffman says it was tone-deaf and cruel for Smith to say Ukraine should accept neutrality and part of the country might be happier breaking away. Hoffman adds Smith's remarks strike a particular sore point with Albertans, which is home to about a quarter of all Canadians of Ukrainian heritage. After the comments became public, Smith issued a statement saying only that she supports Ukraine and will focus on efforts to fast-track and financially support resettlement of Ukrainian refugees. A former Progressive Conservative member of the Alberta legislature and his son have been sentenced to house arrest for immigration fraud. Carlitos and Charles Benito pleaded guilty earlier this month to charges under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. They employed 8 illegal foreign nationals in Edmonton and Calgary and paid them less than $10 an hour between 2016 and 2018 while operating 3 immigration consulting firms. Carlitos Benito, the former MLA for Edmonton Millwoods, faces 2 years of house arrest, 100 hours of community service, and a $75,000 fine. We reached out to the father and son business office, but there was no response. A woman who ran a day home in northern Alberta has been charged with second-degree murder in the death of a 7-month-old baby. Kyra Renee Bax, who is 29, is accused of killing Oakland Cunningham in High Prairie. The child died on October 6th, and an autopsy determined the death was a homicide. Investigators are looking to speak to any families who sent their kids to the day home and have concerns. An active wildfire has been burning in Kananaskis country near Kent Ridge in Peter Lougheed Provincial Park. Crews have been working to assess, contain and respond to the area which was struck by lightning October 13th. A portion of the High Rockies Trans-Canada Trail in the vicinity of Black Shale Suspension Bridge has been closed, as well as Kent Ridge Route and South Lawson Peak Route.
So that wildfire was detected on October 13th around noon, and thankfully we were able to send crews quite quickly to respond. It did grow to approximately 2 hectares. This wildfire was ignited by lightning. It was quite a remote location, and one of the challenges with it is that for our crews, they were only able to access it by helicopter. We couldn't drive to it and bring our equipment on site that way. Alberta Wildfire had deployed over a dozen wildland firefighters with 4 helicopters, and this morning we are going to be scanning the wildfire from the air. Basically, that's to be looking for any remaining hotspots so we can locate them and extinguish them and bring this wildfire to a close. But regardless of the cause, it's important to note that wildfires will ignite, they'll sustain, and they'll grow in these conditions. So wildfire season is not over by any means until we receive significant rain or until the snow falls.
In other news, Alberta Parks says it's responded to hundreds of incidents where hikers got lost, often while relying on popular map apps. Kananaskis Country Public Safety Specialist Darren Vonk says people aren't able to read terrain to the easiest path and may enter areas that don't work for hikers. Vonk notes the apps can be useful when users leave reviews that note the conditions of trails. But he says it's still important to plan ahead and refer to guidebooks, satellite images, and check official trail reports. Albertans can now get their annual flu shots. The immunization campaign offers the influenza vaccine free of charge to all Albertans 6 months of age and older. COVID-19 vaccines, including boosters, may also be offered at the same time to people who are eligible. Albertans can get immunized at public health clinics, local pharmacies, and some doctors' offices. A Lethbridge pharmacist said his pharmacy was flooded with eager people wanting to get their flu vaccine on the very first day it was offered. Vishal Sukadia, owner of the medicine shop near the Chinook Regional Hospital, had to open his doors early to serve the crowd. But that didn't stop him from setting up an immunization station at the Lethbridge Soup Kitchen over the lunch hour. Sukadia explains why it's so important to offer the shot to vulnerable residents as soon as possible.
They are the ones less educated about the flu shot, how it is beneficial for them. So coming here, it just gives them a more opportunity to get the flu shot. And they are the ones, if they don't get a flu shot, if they contract the flu, they will end up in a hospital with complications because of their underlying medical conditions.
And that is your Alberta Daily Update. Back to you, Nima.